Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. Or if you just want to be a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, then you just lurk. That's okay as well. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. It's a Monday. And the goal for tonight is to start a new model kit. I thought we would have started the GQuuuuuX on Saturday, but the Char's SD, Char's Zaku 2 SD, took the whole stream, which is fine. It was okay that happened, but I was a little surprised that it did. Anyway, that kit's done. Now we can start the GQuuuuuX, and I'm looking forward to working on that kit because it's got two different heads, and we're starting with the head. So a lot of this, there's a good amount of stickers on this kit, but a lot of the stickers are going on there, on the head, because there are two different heads. Can you believe it? Doesn't transform. They just give you two versions, which I think for a high grade is fine. Would I prefer that you could somehow modify it to change between modes? Sure, but I'm not expecting that. Let's go. Hey, welcome, Vash. Let's go to the overhead camera. Now, I'm going to apologize if I seem a bit lethargic today. You must understand that I am full of pasta. And when I carbo load, that is not, I don't get a burst of energy because it was fettuccine Alfredo with Italian sausage. And it was rich and it was unbelievably good. Lord Crashton says, hey, Pat, Garfield mode. Yeah, no, I'm just like, it was great. I mean, do not get me wrong. It was unbelievably tasty food. I am so thrilled to have imbibed it. We were celebrating my mother's birthday by going to a nice restaurant, one of her favorites, a Mediterranean restaurant that does certainly focus on Italy, but is certainly not the only thing they do. So they're not an Italian restaurant, more as they're a Mediterranean. But the fettuccine Alfredo was real goddamn good, y'all. It was very good and rich as hell. So I've still got that flowing through my veins right now. Yeah, no, this was not a Pasta Mania. This was not a franchise location. This was just real good food that I got to eat, and I'm happy I got to. Do not cut. Okay. There's little nubbins on here, but we want to keep the nubbins. Working on our GQuuuuuX. We'll get this done. Our main ass Gundam. I did watch yesterday someone start to build the red Gundam. I have my thoughts and critiques of not the model kit, but how it was done. Hakos Bales, aka Bay, who is a rat VTuber, as part of HoloLive, was working on the red Gundam. It was her first model kit, her first Gundam that she was assembling. And HoloLive folks, like many VTubers, but not all, but many VTubers, wear gloves while they do hand cam, or they do things with their hands on camera. And I respect that. But the gloves that she was wearing were not particularly great for the activity of assembling a model kit. Iris from HoloLive also ran into a similar issue. Bad Gumpla just raided with Party of 16. Welcome. Hello, Raiders. I just got started a couple minutes ago, so perfect timing. We are starting the GQuuuuuX, building this kit. And I was just talking about a VTuber that was building the red Gundam and how she was having a little bit of issues with that. Jason didn't tell me what to say. What do I do? Welcome, Raiders. Yes, Bay was working on the red Gundam with some help in general from some. I did not know this, but apparently Bibu, aka oh God, why can't I remember? Bon Bijou. I couldn't remember Bijou's actual name because she's just Bibu. But Bijou has apparently some knowledge when it comes to model kit assembly. Koseki Bijou, yes. Or if you are Kyla, Koseki Bijou. That is correct. God, I know. Like, literally, it's just been a year, but I know too much about Hololive EN. Like, I now know just a fuck ton about those folks. Not on this mat. You paint them blue. Oh, yes, you don't want a chroma key green because then this would disappear as well. But yeah, I have all the respect in the world for people. Ina also does Gunpla. Yes, Ina does have some experience with Gunpla. All of the respect in the world to VTubers that do hand cam stuff, because I am not even saying like a lot of their fans are creeps, but there is a creep portion when it comes to the internet, period. But certainly also when you include women, and also when you include how did you rated me twice somehow? I don't know how that happens. What? Hello, welcome raiders. I got double rated. I don't know how that works. But I'll take it. Welcome raiders. Hi, I'm Pat. Welcome everybody. Yeah, here, have a second raid. Okay, yeah, sure. All right. So people came in as he was done. There we go. Oh, you got raided. That makes so much sense. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. All right. You were rating it. The age-old question, where you're like, is the person I'm about to raid going to stream for any amount of time? It has certainly happened to me before. There are a couple of people I know, like, I never know how long they're like. Oh, they've been streaming for an hour and a half. This will be fine, right? Oh no, they're doing a short one tonight. Oops, that kind of thing. Or like, I often on Saturdays raid my friend Liz Star, and Liz streams on Saturdays for a really long time. Except one time she didn't, and I was like, oh no. But it is what it is. The fact that folks want to, sorry, I want to pull this back. The fact that there are folks out there who trust us with their community is something that I do not take lightly, and it is lovely. So, and I try to do the same. I try to raid people that are not even necessarily doing the same thing. Like, I don't always raid model kit builders, and in fact, I'm more likely to not raid model kit builders just because of the folks that I hang out with in social spaces. But I do always appreciate it when that comes up. Is this B40? Did I take the wrong piece out here? No, that's B40. All right. I have heard some things about this kit that were not necessarily complimentary, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. See if I can get this part of the face in here. But yes, going back to what I was saying, a lot of VTubers, because they are already bending the illusion, if not breaking it, right, by having their real body parts on stream. When they do hand cams, they often wear gloves to build, because, yeah, like I said, they are breaking the illusion that their avatar is them. And so I understand it, why people do it. But I will say, maybe I should do that for a future plastic model weekender, that I have to put gloves on while I'm building or something like that, because I would just hate it. I would be so furious if I had to wear gloves, because I'm already sometimes, like right now, not good at assembling model kits. So if you're adding in that I would have a hindrance, Like, I already can't figure out what I'm doing wrong about this piece. Already, like, why is this giving me trouble? All right, so... Okay, so it should go like this. It should go like this. And then it, like... It goes in and down. The problem is, this is the head I want to use. There are two different heads, and we're going to build both of them. I already know I'd rather do this head, so it's like, what am I doing here? But yes, you do have to protect the business. You're not wrong, Lord Crashington. You got to keep the illusion going, and I respect that and appreciate that people want to do that stuff. And also, like I said, there are a non-zero number of creeps out there that are just going to be weird about real hands and all of that. And you know why I know this? Because, like, someone's actual hand showed up on like not too long ago on a fan thing or on a stream, and people clipped it. Like, clippers were out there being like, "Oh, well, this is definitely a moment that we want to clip so that people can watch it." And it's like, no, what are you doing? I will have you know that the comments section was mostly people saying you should take this down, which I appreciate. And folks were like, hey, actually, this sucks. But still, someone thought, oh, this is definitely a moment that I should make sure that people get to check out. I am just immediately having trouble with this piece. Just having a bunch of trouble with it. Like, is this the way to do it? Whoop. That's not gonna work. My jeweler's tweezers are the wrong part for this. All right. No, that's not it. Here's the piece. It's B40. And it's blown up larger in here. This is what the piece looks like. This is how it's supposed to go in. It's supposed to go in this way. It's going to go in to this part here, this way. This is how it's going to go. And then it doesn't. And I don't know why. But it doesn't. I can tell you that. It sure doesn't. I'm going to blame my dinner. I'm going to blame the fettuccine alfredo with Italian sausage that I had that is just clearly messing with my body. Clearly the problem. Oh, I got it. I could not tell you what I did to suddenly make that work, but I did. And so I am going to move on to the next step. And we're just going to hope that that works out when I put on B41, that everything will be cool. We do have to add some stickers to B41, which we will do, of course. But I'm going to add stickers in after I get these two parts assembled, because I just want that set by getting these pieces put in. We're not going to take any more risks here. For those that are came in from a raid that are new, I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. I stream Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for model kit building. And on Tuesdays I do stream, but not model kits. I do things that, besides that, video games more likely than anything else. And tomorrow night, Tuesday, will be a fun evening where I'll be streaming for the second time Nubby's Number Factory. If you are unfamiliar with Nubby's Number Factory, it is weird Peggle. I think that might be the best way to describe it. It is just a strange version of Peggle. And I really like it. It is a drop the ball and then things happen game. Where you go on a run, you have 5 lives, you get lives back, and it is a weird, fun time. It's a very silly game that I enjoy quite a bit. All right, we got all this together here. Now we can put the stickers on where they need to go. Our tiny stickers that we will do some application with. But yes, I'm playing Peggle tomorrow, and it should be real fun because I like that game quite a bit. I've now unlocked all of the major modifiers in the game. And I will go on like some regular runs of it, like traditional runs, and then I will try to find the most optimized route for the most like nonsense. My attempt tomorrow will be eventually to quote unquote break the game. There is the way where you cannot earn any more points or any more money in that game, and it literally tells you broke the game. And then you can move on to the next stage. So you don't like null out the game. You just can't do anything better in that stage. It's pretty rad. And I have a couple strats to get that going. I don't want to pretend like I'm excellent at the game, but I have figured out strategies that work really well for me. And we might, at the end of the stream, try a couple challenges, but those are hard. The challenges are very difficult. I've only managed to complete one. And I got really lucky with a fun bit of business. All right. Eyes have been added in. I'm now going to use... here. Stickers have been secured. We can now move on to more of the head. A1, A2, D3, and F2. Making moves. Of course, we also have, again, another head to build, but we are making moves. And once we're done with both heads, then I can breathe a little easier because it means that we can work on some parts that are a little bit bigger than the face parts here, which are pretty tiny. I can't imagine doing this while wearing gloves. That's what I'm talking about with Bae working on the red Gundam. Just like those are some tiny parts. But yeah, it's fun to see people that I watch, on stream, do some stuff that I'm into. That's fun. I like that. Go here. Like a year ago, when Fuamoko, which is Fuwawa and Mokuko, twins who streamed together, they had a wrestling match in 3D, and I was barely, kind of watching that stuff a year ago, but that caught my attention. And then when I found out that they had been trained for the match, and it was booked and kind of figured out by people from DDT, I was like, hell yeah, love that. But it had come to my attention because, one, weird wrestling stuff comes to my attention. I have been in this space long enough that when weird shit happens, somebody is just like, Pat, did you see this? And sometimes I haven't. A lot of times I have. But yeah, people go out of their way to let me know when weird wrestling shit is going down. So people were like, hey, did you see this? And then I was like, why do they do Mongolian chops? There's a spot in there. Like, there's literally a video breaking down the moves that they did in there, like a dragon screw, and like the STF and stuff like that. And there are people that were like comparing it to WWE wrestlers doing the moves, and they didn't have anything for the Mongolian chops because I'm like, not the only wrestler, but the major, like, well-known wrestler I know who does Mongolian chops is the Great Khan. And I was like, why are they doing tribute moves to the Great Khan? And then, because I was unaware that the Great Khan loves VTubers. Subaru is his favorite. He's more partial to Subaru, but he is a guy who likes VTubers. And so the DDT wrestlers that put the match together put in a Great Khan spot. And I was like, fuck yeah. Pretty good. It's a good bit of business. Good selling from them. Fuwawa does the yes kicks. And that is just a fun bit of business. I mean, they're good nonsense in that. But yeah, so I was like, that was when I was just kind of getting into it and kind of understanding what was going on. Because I had come in, Great Khan has a wrestling move actually invented by JP Hololive Miko. Yes. Great Khan has taken inspiration from Hololive, and then also Hololive playing WWE games. Some of the JP Hololive members playing WWE games and doing silly things has inspired him, which is very fun. But he has tried to get some other wrestlers interested in VTubers because he's like, they play video games, you'll like this, and they did not understand what was going on. But there's something incredibly funny in my mind of him backstage with like Will Ospreay and Jeff Cobb, who's not with the New Japan anymore, but was, like, trying to get them into VTubers is so fucking funny to me. And them being like, I don't know what's happening. I can't get this piece to connect. All right, we're gonna put this on here. I don't usually run into such problems with this model kit. Watch the other head, the head I don't want to use because I like the look of this one better. Watch that head comes together like perfectly and is like really easy to do. And this one's just giving me all sorts of problems. I would not be surprised if I have no trouble. Yeah, no, I believe this was. I know this was with Will. This was United Empire. So I believe Kenny was out of the company by the time this had happened. And I don't know if it was Jeff Cobb. I know it was Will because Will has talked about it. So it might have been Kyle Fletcher in there as well. I don't know who he was trying to convince they should check out VTubing stuff, but you know, that didn't work out. It was the, hey, look, they're doing the thing that you guys like to watch. You like watching people play video games. You like live streamers. Check these. These are fun girls. Great Khan rules. I got it. I figured it out. Nope. Cursed myself. I thought I had it. It didn't stay in. But I thought I had gotten this chin piece in. I'm also sweating, and I don't know why I'm sweating so much right now. That's not fun. I mean, there are hot lights and all that, but the air conditioning should be on, and I just think it maybe isn't. It cooled down around here. It's still humid, but it did cool down temperature-wise. And also stopped raining, so that's nice, because it's been raining a lot. But yeah. Pasta sweats. No, Lord Crashes, I don't think it was pasta sweats. All right, we should talk about it. SummerSlam Night 2 happened last night. This is the first year where SummerSlam was a 2-night affair for WWE. Some matches happened. A title changed hands. And that's like worth talking about. But the elephant in the room that we will get into here is that Brock Lesnar's coming back. And Brock Lesnar will be John Cena's next opponent on his retirement tour, where he's been facing some of his old opponents. He has lost the belt. The heel run is over. It seems like the heel run ended because Brock would be the heel in this scenario. Brock Lesnar was not originally, but then later was named in some lawsuits against WWE, specifically against Vince McMahon. He has been named in those suits. He is not on trial for anything, but he has been named as someone that was around this information. He was not around for quite some time. He is back. Is this because, like, it seems like, how do I put this? If we are to believe Paul Levesque, aka Hunter Hearst Helmsley, then Brock is back because Cena wanted to face him before Cena retired. Now, is that the reason? Is that them saying, "Oh, we're going to say this because people won't be mad at John Cena"? I don't know. He wasn't back for a while, and now he is. Is it because they feel untouchable? They feel like nothing could go wrong for them? That's totally possible. It's totally possible they just feel completely protected. Is it the fact that the higher-ups at TKO... Oh, I got it. I did get it. Finally, I got this fucking chin in. The higher-ups TKO don't really care about what Brock did or didn't do. They don't really care about it at all. I think that's also completely a reasonable take to have on this, is that they just do not care because it'll make money. Will the people who are like... I will say this. I wonder what it would be where people would be like, I think I'm done with this place. And if this is the thing, then I'm glad that I'm glad that there is a thing. It's a company that employs people that I like. And that is the reason why I keep up with it. One, it's good to keep up what's going on with the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. So that is good to keep up with. But that is the main reason why I keep up with that. And then the second reason I keep up with what's going on with them is because they employ people that I really like. And I like knowing what those folks are up to. I want to see what match Sami Zayn is in, even if that match involves, is just some weird storyline thing and not a belt or something like that. I want to know how plenty of people are up to. I want to know how Io is doing. By the way, Io, great match. Yeah. Lord Crashly, my assumption is that there were people within the company that they had to make sure would sign off on Brock Lesnar, and those people probably said, we should wait a while. That is my actual guess, is that they were doing it as a favor for someone within the company that was high up enough that didn't want him around. And that enough time passed that they were comfortable just being like, yeah, well, we're going to do it now. That's my guess. I don't know. I'm going to put the side face pieces on here first, which also have stickers. Because of course they do. There are a lot of stickers on this kit. But anyway, he's back. That sucks. Parts of that show were good. I thought parts of that show were really solid. I thought Cody versus Cena was good. It was probably the match people, I think, really wanted at WrestleMania, but they were trying to tell their story. I think people will think of this story, even without the Brock part of it. I think people will look at this story as, this was a terrible idea. Listening to The Rock is a bad call. It should have been a babyface. You could have done babyface Cena versus babyface Cody Rhodes. I think people would have kind of booed Cody, which they did a bit anyway, but they would have booed him more because people wanted to see Cena with a belt one more time. But I think this run was a large mistake. I also think keeping outside of their Saturday Night Main Event, keeping R-Truth out of this, I think is a big waste of potential. But then again, I don't think they ever had any intention of doing anything with Truth once they did their business. So they were just kind of like, oh well, we have Truth, I guess we can keep using him. But they're done doing that. But yeah, I think overall this experiment was a failure. And I don't think it's Travis Scott's fault. I think involving Travis Scott was a terrible idea. But I lay blame on this and I don't think I'm alone in this, This is The Rock's fault. I mean, you can't say where's The Rock because like it's The Rock. He's doing things. Dwayne's doing stuff. But like Dwayne should not have been involved in any of this. I think that he's just a guy they can't say no to, and they should start saying no to him when he starts pitching dumb shit. Because it just really made things bad. Anyway, I thought the match was good. Naomi, Rhea, and Io had a fucking phenomenal match. I think Io Sky is probably the best worker in AEW right now. Just incredible performer. Wyatt's Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy are still champions. It is very funny to former CZW champion, multi-time CZW champion Joe Gacy is a tag champ in WWE main roster, and that will always be funny to me. The fact that that man is a decorated WWE wrestler is so funny. It's so fucking funny. One of the men from the most illegal move in professional wrestling, the hypnosis dancing bit, one of those guys is a tag champ in the WWE, and it's fucking hilarious. The only guy in those four guys that is still an active wrestler is a tag champion in the WWE. That is just so fucking funny. All right. I missed a piece. There's a piece that needs to go on here. I missed B4 or D4. For the rest of the show, Becky versus Lyra was good. That feud is over now until Becky loses the belt, I guess. I guess Lyra could keep bothering Becky, but she can't win. She can't challenge for the title anymore. I don't know where that puts anybody. That's all right. Solo Sikoa cheated real hard and got out of the cage and beat Jacob Fatu. I think that's probably the right call. I think Jacob Fatu is bigger. Weirdly enough, I think Jacob Fatu is bigger than the U.S. title. What they choose to do with him, I don't know, but I think he's bigger than the title. So I thought that match was fine. I think Solo is finally starting to click with me, mainly because his faction is dumb. He's got a bunch of doofs in his faction, and I think that's really funny. Dom Mysterio beat AJ Styles. AJ Styles, I want to say, I think AJ Styles should probably retire soon. I think AJ is kind of worn out, and I think he's still a great wrestler, but I think that every match he does, it shows more and more that he is probably at the tail end of his career. There's rumors that Dom Mysterio might win the big belt, or one of the big belts in AAA, and I think he should, because I think he's fucking great. I think Dom Mysterio should definitely become a AAA champion. And then Cody beat John Cena. I now understand why night one ended with Punk winning the belt and then Seth winning it, because they wanted to have its time in the sun. They couldn't do it tonight. I thought it was weird that there was a tables, ladders, and chairs match, and then a no DQ match, and then a steel cage match. And the triple threat had some chicanery as well. And the first night had like no weird stipulations other than Seth Rollins, pinning CM Punk. But I think it's weird that they should have put the 6-pack or the no DQ match or the steel cage match on the previous night, and instead they put them all together, and it was weird. And then, of course, Brock Lesnar should not be showing up, and they should not be using Brock. He should have said, I do not want to work with program with Cena. I should not be on TV, because it's going to be bad for everybody. He shouldn't have said yes. Cena shouldn't have requested him. WWE shouldn't have brought him in. It is what it is. Yes. Just go hang out on your farm with Sable and Fucking get out of here. Overall, SummerSlam probably shouldn't be too nice. There were a few matches on that card that just felt like filler, even though one set of tag belts didn't even get defended. They have 2 men's tag belts, and they didn't even have both of them on the show. Lashbrook asked if I want more shitty wrestling news. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I guess. I haven't been paying attention to what's happening on Raw tonight, so I'm sure there's something that got announced on Raw or proposed that isn't great. So yeah, sure, lay it on me, Lashbrook, if you want to. We did one head. This is the head I'm going to use. We'll build the other head just so we have a comparison. Because maybe I will. Once I built it and looked at it, maybe I'm like, actually, this is that I want to use. Joey Ryan, Joey Ryan comes back not all the time, but fairly often. This is the perfect climate for Joey Ryan to come back. If Joey Ryan was ever going to try to make a big comeback outside of Mexico, who would accept him as a fun gringo? If he was trying to make it in America again, this is the perfect climate to do it. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as Brock's on back at WWE, I say, go for it. Yeah. Do I like that? Of course I fucking don't. But like, sure. You know what? Yeah, I mean, of course. Of course. I hadn't heard of those times. I'd only heard him about working at the bar. No, I'm saying like Mexico is, look, not every American who works in Mexico for CMLL or AAA is a disgraced wrestler that can't get work in America. But a non-zero amount of them make that happen. That's their bread and butter. A non-zero amount of wrestlers do that, and then like one promotion in the US who will have them, like 1 or 2. But the fact that he's making a comeback is disgusting. But yeah, he was around not too long ago trying to do his thing. And that's disgusting. But yeah, he hasn't been on TV since like the Impact, TNA Impact, like when they were still taping stuff. And they didn't. Impact had him and then suspended him from the company, but then they had tape, so they aired the tapes that he was in because they didn't cut him out of those tapes, which is like, yeah. I mean, you know, it was 2020. Companies were just trying to survive. I don't like it, but I understood it at the time. But yeah, Joey Ryan making a comeback is unfortunately not surprising to me because, like I said, it is the time to do it. That is the time to say to do this shit. If you are going to make a comeback, if you think that you can fucking pull that off, if you are a scumbag of that ilk, yeah, man. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, honestly, the fact that he'll get some work is not surprising. And it's sick. It sucks, but it's unfortunately not surprising. All right, so I'm working on the other face here, and we'll see if this goes a little better. Maybe this will be a little easier to put this face together here. It might not. It might be just as annoying as the last build, but maybe it'll be a little easier. But this isn't even the face I want to use, so it's really just going through the motions here. There it is. Is that right? Nope, that's not right. No. That's not correct either. Anyway, I watched Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling on Sunday. It was the previous week's show. I'm behind. I'm trying to get caught up, and I was frustrated. But they had Wakana beat Suzume in the Princess tournament, Princess Cup tournament. The winner gets a title shot. Unless they're the champion at the time, in which case I guess nothing happens. I don't know what happens. I don't think it's ever happened that way, but they always have a couple upsets. And the big upset in this show was that Suzume, who had just lost the International Princess title, lost to Wakana. And that was shocking. I knew it was coming, and I was still like, oh yeah, they fucking did it. All right. So this piece is giving me problems just like the previous one. This looks like this. Goes in to here. It even kind of shows me what it's supposed to look like when it's done. There it is. I got it. That was not as hard as it could have been, so I'll take it. And then I'll put this piece on properly here. Yeah, this head is coming together easier, which is nice. And it has some of the same stickers, nice kind of stickers. I do appreciate that they let you build both, that you don't have to choose one or the other. You build both of them, you can swap the heads. I do think that's nice. It's a nice bit of business. Let's see, is there anything else we want to talk about here? There were layoffs at IGN. As always, these layoffs are about moving a little bit of moving the lines on a spreadsheet. They are not about quality or anything like that. And of course, it's just a coincidence that it's people who are part of a union at IGN and not other folks. Of course, that's just purely coincidence. To say anything else would be liable, of course. But yeah. That sucks, and my condolences go out to those that have lost their jobs at IGN. But yeah, one of the easiest ways to make number go up is to reduce headcount. It's just unbelievably short-sighted, but unfortunately, not surprising. In good gaming news, Raven QA Union has a contract. They have been bargaining for 3 years, and they finally have a union contract. So congratulations to them. This is Raven Software is a subsidiary of Microsoft. You may remember that in trying to acquire Activision Blizzard King, Microsoft took a hands-off approach when it came to people wanting to form unions within their companies, basically because they did not want they wanted this deal to go through, and they thought that being the kind of company that tries to stop people from unionizing would be a bad look, which it would be. But then, of course, nothing keeps them from actually going into meetings and fulfilling that part of it, and that took a long time to come together. 3 years negotiating. The GWA-CWA has ratified a contract that will guarantee a 10% wage increase over 2 years with additional raises through merit and promotions, which is things that when you hear it, you go, they weren't doing that? Well, I guess this is guaranteeing it, but Jesus fucking Christ. This is a 19-member union. But as of course, it benefits more people than just those 19, because these kind of moves always do. So, congratulations to them. That fucking rules. This is Nick, just resubbed on Prime. That's 14 months. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate that. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thank Nick for the support. Appreciate you. Thanks for using your Prime token. We are currently at 23 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about it at 40. But I'm going to throw some emotes into the chat. Hell yeah. And now I'm going to apply a tiny sticker. But yeah, congratulations to those folks for getting their contract, the union contract. That rules. I did not watch a lot of things from Evo. I do not watch a lot of fighting game stuff. I usually, I see some of the big moments, but I did not pay attention too much to Evo. I mostly like when friends of mine who are at Evo post photos of old fighting arcade games or hotel room money matches, stuff like that. I like seeing that more than anything else. I did have friends who were running booths, and they apparently had a good time, so that's fun. I do congratulations to the best Mortal Kombat player in the world still, Sonic Fox, for keeping that going, keeping the dream alive, just being very fucking good at Mortal Kombat all the time, forever. Let's see. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is going to have a closed beta next month on PS5, September 5th through the 7th. And it'll include Captain America, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, Star-Lord, Storm, and Doctor Doom. You can sign up, Google it, and the game is apparently coming out sometime next year. But again, if you have a PS5 and you're interested in doing some play testing, you can get your play testing on, or you can at least sign up to hopefully get your play testing on. And good luck to you. I'm kidding. Care about that. The big bummer this Evo is the GC hasn't really made the move over to Blue Sky, so I didn't see much of anything on socials. Yeah. It was also a down year in many reasons because of the fact that there is a European Evo that people are like, I think I'm just going to go to that. International travel, not necessarily the best. Maybe flying to Vegas, not necessarily things people want to do. Just in general, money issues prevented people. But certainly it was, in many instances for many people, just not a feasible thing. Just like not good. Stuff about Virtua Fighter and some old heads out there being real psyched about new Virtua Fighter that looks, hey, it looks real good. They announced a fourth Evo in Singapore for 2027, which is wild. Hell yeah. Making Evo more international just makes fucking sense. There are lots of players out there that just are never going to come here or Europe, and being able to facilitate them fucking rules. And having like more of the local scenes giving time to shine, I think it's awesome. Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage, which is the 5 remaster, is coming out in October. But the next Virtua Fighter game, which is being made by the studio What Makes Yakuza, Ryuga Gotoku, is making that, and that just looks really good. Trailer came out, looks really cool. There's a new character for Tekken 8, and she is from Madagascar, and she is a new character. Armor King is coming in October, and Armor King has one of, he's got one of Will's moves, and that's wild. Like a fucking AEW wrestler, one of his Stormbreaker move is now in there, and that's cool as hell. Just wild and cool. Will Ospreay, one of Will Ospreay's moves is in Tekken, and that's just neat. All right, I gotta put a sticker on this piece. I wanted to get it on first before I put the sticker on, because we're dealing with tiny fucking stickers here. Come on. There it is. Cyberpunk Edge Runners are going to be a part of Lucy is going to be part of season 4 of the season pass 4, I should say, of Guilty Gear Strive. And yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. Sure. That's a fun, weird choice that I think is pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. Look cool. Watch the trailer. Look neat. Right now, let me just get these pieces on here. What am I doing wrong? This has got to go right here. I'm like, oh, what am I doing wrong? This has got to go right here. And then it doesn't go right there. And I'm like, what? I think that's going to be a lot of this kit for me is like, oh, and then I put this here, right? And then I go in to do it. And I'm like, no, because this kit has like so much Evangelion in it that it's got weird sightlines is the wrong term. It's just got weird angles. It's got weird approaches. And the way some of these parts come together is strange. I have to be very careful about how I'm assembling this. I think there's going to be a lot of me being like, no, that's not it. As you can tell by the 2 heads that I have been putting together here and my continued difficulty in doing so. I am glad that these are the first steps though, because if I was doing this an hour from now, or if I was starting this now instead of starting at 8 o'clock, I would be unbelievably frustrated with doing this. Whereas now I'm like, oh, I'll figure this out. Ken's gonna be in Fatal Fury. He looks pretty dirtbag in it. Which is great. We love a dirtbag Ken Powers. That's his last name, right? He's Ken Powers? I think that's what his name was. I can't remember. My apologies if I'm getting Ken's name wrong. I want to say yeah, because the joke was that his brother is Miles. But yeah, I'm pretty sure his last name is Powers. Ken Masters, that's right. It's Ken Masters. Somebody else who's not Tails has the last name Powers, and is Tails' brother, but it wasn't Ken. I don't remember who that was, but somebody is. Okay, see, I got that wrong. There you go. All right, I finished this other head. Let's panel line it. We're probably going to use the opened states instead of the closed states, which is pluralized for no apparent reason. And then, of course, in Invincible versus Omni-Man is going to be there because why wouldn't he be in it? It's so wild that that cartoon is getting a video game in 2026. It feels so late to the party on that, but sure, plenty of people like that cartoon. But making a video game based on it makes some sense. But I was still like, huh, they're doing that. All right. They're doing it. Good luck to them. And then Sea Viper is coming to Street Fighter 6. And Sagat is coming August 5th. Alex is early 2026. Ingrid is late spring of next year. And then if you want to buy swimsuit gear for the people in the game, you can. If you want to get them swimsuited up, you can get them swimsuited up. Your mileage may vary if that's what you're looking for, but if that is, you can do it. All right, we're almost done here. I love that my first hour of this stream was just working on 2 heads, but that was how annoying these heads were to complete. Not the easiest builds in the world. All right, now we'll clean this up, and then we can move on to the body. We're definitely going to be using the open head, because I think it's a cooler look to it. And it feels a little more traditional. Feels a little more Gundam, and a little less, you know, I don't know. I will zoom in a little bit here. It feels a little less Ava and a little more Gundam with it opened, so we'll do that. Obviously, it's a very Ava-ass model kit, but you get what I'm saying. You understand. 23, 24, 30. Like I said, tomorrow I've got some gaming to do here on the channel, as always. And then on Thursday, I'll be back working on this model kit. But we still have an hour left of the stream here, so we'll get some more done. But yeah, that's the agenda for this week. Model kit building. Somebody bought me the shrimp. I don't know who. I noticed today that the shrimp was no longer on my wish list. And so somebody bought me that shrimp model kit, the 1-to-1 scale shrimp. It's a sushi, and I went with shrimp sushi and put that one on my list. Somebody bought it. I don't know who, but somebody did. So that's coming in the mail at some point. And then I, myself, purchased the jigsaw puzzle. I bought the third jigsaw puzzle of the people that made the Magic the Gathering jigsaw puzzles because it was on sale for like $5. And I was like, well, I'm buying some other stuff. I'm also going to get that. But I was getting some other stuff on Amazon. And I was like, well, while I'm here, let me get that shit. Because that's just nice to have. So that'll go into rotation of people being able to vote on what I work on next. We'll be able to vote on that in the near future. They'll be able to say, Pat, you need to build that. Just rolling here. All right. Now is the part of the stream where I am going to talk to you about ways that you can support what I do here. The various ways that you can support this channel and what I'm getting into. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You can be like Nick and use the token. You can use Cash Money if that's how you prefer to roll. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community, be anonymous, or take credit for it. You could be the top of the gift sub leaderboard. Didn't have any gift subs in July. You could be the first one in August. You could also do bits and coins if you'd like to do that. I will say that I'm going to talk about ways that you can support what I do here, and all of these things are optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you would like to, that would be great. And I'll try to go through this quickly, but this is my chance to, promote myself and what I'm up to. Hey, Jordy, welcome. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's different tiers there. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier, and there are different rewards for the different tiers. So I would suggest that you go take a look at that, see if there's a tier that's right for you. Like, do you want to get things early? Do you want to vote on what I do next Tuesday for my Patreon's Choice stream? Do you want a Q&A video every month? Or do you want to be able to vote on what I'm building? You've been like one of the people that voted for me to work on the GQuuuuuX. You can take a look at that, see if there's something there that stands out to you. I have a YouTube channel. Of course I do. Of course I got a YouTube. YouTube.com/PatBear. Over my YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free, and please do. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And there's a membership over there. And for just $2 a month, you can become a member. And you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow you'll get a video. You'll know before other people do what the theme for this month is and what my first video of that theme could be. So you can take a look at that. That's just another way to support me. I don't think AdSense is... AdSense might let me check. AdSense might have kicked in, but it's the 4th, so it might be still too early for that. Yeah, it looks like it's still too early for that. I haven't got an update on AdSense for the month, the previous month. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just want to support me once in a while, you just want to throw something in a tip jar, I got a virtual tip jar. It's my Ko-Fi and my PayPal, respectively, I should say. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And out of that fund, I pull money out to purchase model kits. This kit I was able to purchase, the GQuuuuuX here, I was able to purchase because of your generosity. Past you is helping present me. If you want to support me in any of those ways, it'll help me continue to buy model kits to build. I was able to buy that jigsaw puzzle because of your generosity. Now, I should make this clear. If you want to have a say in what I build on stream, one of the other ways you can do that is you can buy something for me to build. Just like somebody bought me that sushi kit. And so I'll be building a 1-to-1 scale shrimp sushi model kit in the future. You can buy something and I will build it on stream by going to my Amazon wish list. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things on that list. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you could buy it for me to build it, and I'll do that. Lots of different stuff like a donut, a Lego donut truck that looks fun, and some model kits, and all kinds of things and things. A Lego Technic plane that looks pretty cool. I like to build that. Some 3-in-1s. I haven't done a Lego 3-in-1 in a while. You can pick up that. Some knockoff Lego, some model kits. The Dragon Ball Daima Goku and Vegeta set on rocks. That's on my list. I got a bunch of things and things. Like I said, if you see something on that list, you're like, I love for Pat to build that. You could make it happen by buying it. And again, it'll come to me in the mail, and I'll make a dedicated video about the thing on my YouTube channel to give you some shout outs, and then I'll build it on stream. That is a way to support what I do here. It is not the only way, but it is a way to do that. My alternative to Amazon is to have a wish list on Throne. So if you see something, you don't want to go through Amazon, you don't want an alternative, there's your alternative. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store, you can purchase a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. That is a way to support me. Again, those convoluted way. If you want to help me out without spending any money, and I get it, I've been there, you can go to my Discord. My Discord is full of fun folks, and we'd love to have you over there. So come hang out in the Discord. A couple video links for you to check out. I put up a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club today, and I would love for you to check it out. It is my summer 2025 recommendations episode. That's right. After making a video 2 weeks ago about recommendations I regret, I'm back with recommending four shows, but I now given it more time, and from now on I'll be doing them later in the month than I used to. So hopefully I will pick one that sits with you and you like. Also, Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Last month, which this video came out during last month in July, I was talking about some of my favorite shows from the spring 2025 season, including Food for the Soul, I believe, underrated show. It is a girls doing things, in this case, cooking and eating food, but it's also about community and found family and getting coming out of your shell and being silly and fun. It is a delightful little series, and you should check it out. But watch my 1 minute where I gush about how great the series is, and then maybe that'll convince you to check out the full anime. So, what's going to happen now is I'm going to talk about a manhwa and a manga that I have been reading, and then I will talk to you about an anime that I have been watching, and we'll do all of that in just a moment. I do need to drink some water. I definitely need some water. And we need to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera, and we'll do all of that right now. I do definitely have the pasta sweats. I can say that. I for sure have the pasta sweats from eating all of that great pasta that I had for dinner tonight. I'm definitely feeling it. Anyway, manga. One manhwa, one South Korean comic, one manga. The South Korean comic is called Regressing as the Reincarnated Bastard of the Sword Clan. And the other one is called Happy Daily Life of a Court Blacksmith. I was banished from a black workplace, but I live a white life while being loved by the Duke's daughter in a neighboring country. Which is just so fucking cute. Can't wait to talk about that. But first we'll start with the manhwa. This is similar to another manhwa I talked about last week about another character that regressed. There are some differences in this one. Our dude Theo, just for a very long time, had a rough life. He is part of this huge family, the Ragnar family, where, like, you know, your accomplishments mean the world and power means everything. And, you know, he is blood related to this clan, but he has, like, struggled. He is always a step behind. His powers never really fully blossomed. Turns out the guy that's been training him did a shitty job, but nobody cared enough to, like, call it out that he was, like, clearly sabotaging him. And it was just kind of rough. It had just kind of been rough for him his whole life. He was supposed to be in line for the throne. He got pushed aside and used, and things were bad. And then his house was betrayed. His mother was killed in front of him. And anyone that even remotely looked out for him turned their back on him, and he was killed in a plot. And as he was dying, his final thoughts were regret. And then he gets to return. He's a returner. He goes back. He regresses. He now has a second opportunity. He's got some skills that he didn't have before. He has all his knowledge of previous times. And there's like a quest system. And it's one of those It's one of those books. And now things are going to go differently for him. And he immediately dismisses and defeats the guy that was that had been tormenting him. And he does some activities to get the scent of someone that he knows is a trustworthy person, so that he can get a new master and he can join a different faction. An overlooked element of this that, like, they don't do a lot with right now is he's got a really cool dragon friend, because he's part of the Dragon Riders, but they haven't really made use of the fact that he's got this, like, he made friends with a dragon he knows in the future would lose its mind with dark magics and go on a rampage, but instead he makes friends with them. He's correcting the mistakes of the past. And it's fun. And like I said, there's some questing elements. There's some unlocking. There is a bigger world that he is just trying to piece together. He is there for a reason. He is trying to change the fate of not only his family, but also the future of the whole clan, like his immediate family and a bunch of people. But he gets some compatriots and some friends and some people he knew were awesome in his past life now flock to him, and he's, like, making friends with cool people and getting, like, actual peers. And he's got himself a bit of a crew. He's getting revenge here and there. It's going great for him. He's changing with his knowledge of the future and his own abilities. He is forging his own path. And obviously there will be complications, like at one point, some of the dragon parts that he has consumed try to take him over, but he wins out. Like, things are getting weird for him, but he's doing his best. And nothing could stop him. Oh, except for the part that the leader of the family, his, like, estranged father, knows that he's a regressor and is pissed off about it. I don't think I've ever seen this before. But, of course, there's more than one chosen one, right? So there's some kind of fate that needs to be stopped, right? our guy Theo is definitely not the first person to ever get the opportunity to change fate. He is just one of many variables in this version of reality going through it. And apparently his father hates that. He hates the idea that regressors show up all the time. And he's killed a bunch of them already, including his own father. Because, and there's good signs of it. Somebody that suddenly has powers he shouldn't have had, that seems to know things before other people know them, know things he shouldn't know, suddenly has, you know, like I said, has abilities. And it's not just, oh, this person is just suddenly better at this thing. There's a reason for it, which I find fascinating. I think that is a very interesting idea, and a thing I can't tell you if I've seen that before. I don't think I've seen that before, of the idea of like somebody acknowledging, like knowing that there have been books about like, there have been books of like isekai killers, like the people that kill the folks summoned to another world because they're generally teenagers and can't handle the vast power they're suddenly given. So there has to be an organization that takes care of them. That's happened, that's been explored, but I don't know about like, oh yeah, this regressor, that there are a bunch of regressors that show up and I fucking hate them because they keep thinking, they keep changing the future. And according to his dad, one of the reasons why they change the future all the time is just to benefit themselves, which the dad really fucking hates. But he's watching Theo right now and he doesn't kill Theo because Theo is like, the family that I have saved, the people that I have helped out, I want to keep all of them. I'm not doing this for myself or just for myself. And so he gets like a stay of execution, basically. And I think that's really fun. I should say there is a manhwa that I haven't read where everyone regresses except one guy, like everyone gets the time turned back around, but one dude, and they all remember what happened except for the strongest guy. The strongest guy from the first round doesn't remember what happened. And that being an interesting premise, but I've never really kept up with it. But that's the closest thing to I know you regressed and I fucking hate that shit. But yeah, it is overall pretty fucking dope. Art's really good. Like I said, not enough with the dragon familiar. I'd like to see more of the dragon familiar because that's cool. I like the character's mother. She's so sweet and supportive and very fun. Great minor cast throughout. I look forward to it's on hiatus right now, but I'm looking forward to it coming back. That's Regressing as the Reincarnated Bastard of the Sword Clan. And like I said, it's pretty fucking good. All right, so this looks like this. No. Is this the way okay, I think this is right. Yeah, this is right. And so this goes that. Man, I'm telling you. This fucking model kit. Something about this kit that I'm just like furious about. I don't know. Maybe it's my mood. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood or something, or I'm off. I don't know. But I know that part of it is just the simple fact that this is a weird kit. So of course, a lot of elements of how things come together and how it looks are weird. Because it's a weird kit. Get this together here. I got this right on the others. So if this goes like this, then this has to go like that. And this is going to go like that. Yeah, all right, snapped in. I clicked it in place. All right, now to talk about a manga called Happy Daily Life of a Court Blacksmith. I was banished from my black workplace, but I live a white life while being loved by the Duke's daughter in a neighboring country. In this case, the use of the word black and the words black and white mean black company and white company, which is a term you might be familiar in Japan. Generally, a black company is a company that is going to, the thing that a lot of Japanese workers fear is that a company that is, the management is just taking advantage of you. There is no upward momentum. There is no growth. You work unpaid overtime. You do the work of several people. They keep you, they make you work so many hours that you have no moments to breathe. So much so that in the zombie bucket list, like the zombie apocalypse is a relief for our main character because it means he doesn't have to go to work. That's how drastic that is. He's so broken down. But that is a lot of characters who get reincarnated and stuff like that often have those kinds of work-life things. Our main character is not a reincarnate, as far as I know, has not been reincarnated, but he's just working at a shit job. He's working for a black company, and he basically gets the opportunity to work for a neighboring kingdom. A duke's daughter that he has is basically really smitten with him because he is like a strong, cool dude, and she basically tricks him. There's no better way to say it. She's like, please, I don't want to get married to somebody else. I don't want to get married. Pretend to be my fiance. And he believes her. He does not believe anything besides that. He does not believe that she is lying to him. He fully buys into the idea that he is posing as her fiance because her dad comes from the line of blacksmiths. So, even though he doesn't necessarily believe in himself, he's like, okay, sure. She is, of course, lying. She just wants to be with him. But then she kind of gets stuck in a position where she can't, really tell him the truth yet. So it's the rom-com kind of thing. But he's got to prove himself. Right now, he's making swords to sell them to basically start his own little bit of business. I should say, he is an overpowered main character in that he was doing all the grunt work of enchanting, but he was doing it so fast and so well that the people who don't know shit just assumed that he was being lazy because he sometimes got tired from doing all that work. So he must be shitty at his job and real lazy, and anyone could do his job because he can do it and he sucks. So it must be an easy job. And of course they find out as soon as he's gone that he was really fucking good. And now they're trying to track him down or whatever. But yeah, he was really good at his work. And now he's going to be in an environment where he can shine and thrive by making, he's starting off by doing, swords, big swords, but also doing kitchen knives and stuff and helping people out. And it's sweet because they're still pretending to date even though she wants to actually date him and he doesn't know that. And he thinks that, she is helping him out by giving him a place to work, and he can't thank her enough for that. But he doesn't realize that she is into him because why would he realize that? He's the main character of the story. So why would he realize that there's somebody who is interested in him? It would be impossible for him to be aware of that, and instead it just makes way more sense for him to be a fucking doof. It's cute. It's very cute. You get we're getting the fantasy setting thing here, but also it's a fun take on the Banished subgenre. In this case, doing a Banished show that is a romantic comedy. Pretty light on the comedy aspects, pretty heavy on the romance. but it's fun. It's a fun time. I recommend it. It is a breeze of a series. If you're like, oh, I don't really care about a blacksmith, he really doesn't. There are some scenes dedicated to the blacksmith stuff, but it's mostly about the relationship. It's not my favorite manga about a guy who's really good at blacksmithing. There's another one. We've talked about it on stream before. There's another one that I really like. Because that one is got a lot going on. But yeah, this one's fun. It's cute. I recommend it if you are looking for something similar, or you're looking for something like it. I think it's a very good one of those. All right, I got to put some marking stickers on here. I got to put 2 on this, then 2 stickers on the front. So now we're going to finally get into our marking stickers, our red stickers here. We got some of these to put on. And while I am doing that, I will talk to you about this episode of Ruri Rocks, a show that I am like watching because it's on. I don't want to say it's like, it's not bad. It's definitely not like a bad show. It just hasn't hit me super hard. I think that like the main character is still kind of like sometimes a little unlikable. She's growing on me, but she's like my least favorite character of the characters on the show, and she is the main character, so it's like kind of weird. You'd think I would be more into her and seeing the world through her eyes, but most of the time I'm just like, yeah, all right. Well, what about the other characters? What's going on with the other characters? Oops. That didn't work. Oh, sticker came off. Whoop. Sticker flew away. There it is. Hold on. Okay. Now we'll try to get this sticker in. There we go. All right, so this episode of Ruri Rocks, Ruri, Yoko, and Nagi are on a gravel beach. They're doing some work there on this beach, and they are looking for quartz. They're on a quartz hunt. They're looking for a variety of quartz here. Sorry, let me just get this. Go. So they're looking for quartz and banded agates. Nagi has Nagi gets philosophical in here. There's a lot of talk about like rocks are clues to the history of the world and the formation of the area and all this stuff. That's like pretty fun. It's another long monologue that is more philosophical than practical, which is kind of par for the course for this series, where a lot of it gets philosophical, and it's not bad. I'm not saying this is bad. It's just like, okay, sure. I kind of imagine the show would be a bit more practical than it is, but I'm not opposed to it being fantastical in some parts. All right, so now I have to do stickers 12 and 13 need to go on here. These are purple stickers that go on the chest. I'm going to make this photo bigger and see if I can figure out where this purple is. Oh, it's somewhere I can't see it. This is like, yeah, this kit just has so many layers that I'm like, I have no idea where that purple is. Okay. Let me look here. There's like a indent here. There it is. All right, I think that's right. Yeah, there's a little indent, and that's where this little tiny sticker lives. There's a little bit of purple on this kit. I understand why this is a sticker and not plastic, because this is very small. And it would be hard to layer that as plastic. Even if it's really fucking tiny. Anyway, as I said, Nagi gets philosophical. That's fun. They find some silvery metal, and it might be platinum. They don't know, which is less rare in that area. But they're like, oh, we might have found platinum, which is just like, like I said, they made a cool discovery, and it's like I said, it's a little bit more of a science element. Okay, we've got more stickers to put on this kit. B14 has a bunch of stickers that go on it. This kit has so many stickers. B14 has some stickers. I'm going to read what this says here. Choose and place on model. Choose one. Oh, there's like options here for the bottom part. We'll probably use 14 because, like I said, 14 has purple in it. But I could do 14 or I could do 15. But I think we're going to do 14 because, like I said, that's the purple. And there's only a little bit of purple in this kit. So we might as well add a little more to it. I like purple as a color. So Nagi talks about, she has a kind of a whole thing about volcanoism and plate tectonics. Again, we get more lessons. Our girl kind of keeps up. She's kind of interested. One thing I will say about Ruri is she at least humors her senpai, even if she's not super bought into all that stuff, because she's a little bit still, in my opinion anyway, very focused on her own goals and a little less focused on what other people are up to. Which there's not, I'm not super happy with that, but it is just something I noticed. In the mountains, they find a bunch of serpentinite and more platinum grains in a nearby stream. So they're making discoveries. They're getting things done. It's pretty all right. Like I said, not a lot happened in this episode. Mostly it's just discovering rocks and talking about rocks, and occasionally moments where you're like, oh, this show feels like it could be gay at any moment, but I don't know if it's gonna ever get there. It could just be all teases, but there are a few moments. It has its place. Mostly it's just a show that is an easy watch, and so I have been watching it because it's not a bad time. So I've been checking it out. Now is the part of the stream, friends. It's some people's favorite part of the stream. It's where I ask you, what are you all up to? What are you into? What you get up to this weekend? Are you watching anything? You playing anything? You building any model kits or anything? I always love hearing from you about those things and things. So if you're doing anything, if you're working on anything, please consider letting me know, because I like to hear from you. I will tell you that my daily driver video games are still Hearthstone and Nubby's Number Factory. I was playing some regular ass Nubby, modified, no modifiers Nubby, because I want to do that at the very least the first part of the stream tomorrow. So I was playing that over the weekend, trying to get better at that. Just work my combos where my money is tighter. Still a very fun game. Still really enjoy it. Think about Nubbies a lot. I play small bursts of it. A couple times a day usually. And then Hearthstone, my deck hasn't been nerfed yet. My bullshit deck that I would play, my bullshit druid deck, still hasn't been nerfed. I expect it to get nerfed at some point, but right now it hasn't, so that's nice. And I am close to 1,000 wins with Rogue, a class that I didn't used to play much at all. I'm at 990 something wins, so I maybe by next week I'll have 1,000 wins. That'd be cool. I don't have a lot of 1,000 wins in a lot of different formats, so I'm excited about that. Or formats, I should say. Heroes. So I am excited to maybe get that done, which would be cool. I'm excited about that. Might be able to get 1,000 wins for Rogue, and it'll be, I think, the 3rd class where I have 1,000 wins. So that's fun. Lord Crash did watch the new season of King of the Hill, and it's great. Nice. Glad to hear that. Like I said, last night I watched some Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling instead of watching WWE, and I'm glad that I made that choice because I made the right one with that particular choice. And then today I did a bunch of work. As I said, went out to dinner with my folks, and that was really nice, and I'm still stuffed because of that. But it was real good. Oh, it was real good. All right, we are almost done with the chest, and then we're going to build the waist. And of course, the waist has a sticker on it, because why wouldn't every segment of this kit have stickers? We'll get this here. 8 and I need 9 and 8. And of course, we have to panel line this thing as well, but we'll get that going here. And then I need 8. But yeah, if anybody's up to anything, please let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you about those things. If you got anything else going on. This weekend, I'm getting some D&D in, doing a one-shot. I'm very excited about that because it has been too long since I had the opportunity to get some time in doing some D&D. So I'm excited for that because I love it. But yeah, we're just doing a one-shot. A friend is running a one-shot, so that's nice. Some nice memorials to the voice actors behind Dale and John Redcorn in the new King of the Hill. Great. Good to hear. Happy to hear that. Of course, they completed it before the passing of Chuck Mangione, but I'm sure that he is in their thoughts. E17 and E18, I need here is these pieces here. And then we are done with the chest. We can panel line it and then build the waist, which is only, the waist is only 3 pieces. So you know what, we'll build the waist and then we'll panel line the waist and the chest together. We'll do that just to get this built here. Yeah, let's see if there's anything else going on with me. I don't know. Like I said, I'm doing a one-shot this weekend. That is a thing to look forward to. The air conditioning must be off in this house because it is warm in this room. It is beyond the normal warm of these lights. It's extra warm, so I wonder if the air conditioner is just off. Might have gotten turned off. This room gets warmer than the rest of the house because of all of the computer monitors and the fact that this door is closed all the time. It gets warm in here. You know, one thing I need to do this weekend, and maybe this will be the thing for me to, for you to do as well. Maybe my voice can be your strength, and you can take a lesson from your friend Pat. Hey, you should clean your computer, because I don't think I did in the month of July. I'm pretty sure I didn't in July. So one thing I'm doing this weekend is shutting the whole computer down, letting it cool down, and then taking the getting the duster out and really going to town and cleaning this thing up. It is a necessary thing that I need to do that, again, I haven't done in a bit here, so I gotta do that. Gotta go and clean that up. So oh, and I gotta put a sticker on this here. Then B15. But yeah, I definitely need to get some cleaning done on this here computer and clean everything out. So I will do that this weekend. But if you haven't done it in a while, give the old computer a dusting. It's probably a good time to do it. Laura Crashington wants me at the dance button, and then I will read what Lashbrook wrote. Thank you for using your channel points, Lord Crashington, for the dance button. Here is the dance button. All right, I need 11. Sticker 11 is this one. It's a black with a gold trim sticker that goes on here. Thank you for using your channel points. Hope you enjoyed that. And let's put this sticker where it actually belongs, not where I thought it was supposed to go, but where it's actually supposed to go. Yeah. Lorca says, or sorry, Lashbrook says, unsurprisingly, after Saturday, you may learn that I continue to watch Evo. I'm not surprised. SSF6 was a little wild because a 16 or 17-year-old kid from Hong Kong who'd never been in a tournament before got third place. Fuck yeah. You love to hear it. The children are the future. That rules. I love that so much. Just a kid who's good but has not been in a tournament comes in, gets third place. You love to hear it. That's some good shit. It's a good story. That rules. Yeah, I didn't hear too much about coming out of like how people did. I didn't watch any of it because that's not really my jam. But like I said, I know that that our friend Sonic Fox got first place in Mortal Kombat, and that rules. Love to hear that. But yeah, that's a fun little bit of business, Lashbrook. I'm not surprised you went, watched more of the Evo. All right, we have now finished assembling the chest of this kit, so now I can panel line it, and we can decide which head is going to go on there, or I can decide. But I will need black and gray, mostly black, but maybe some gray. Let's see. Not really a lot of, oh yeah, a little bit for this off-white that we're using here. This little blue tint to this white that we'll hit with a few things here. Just a few things here and there. Lorcar says, I do want to see the new Naked Gun later this week. Yeah, I mean, that's something that, like, I'll rent it probably. I might wait for it to show up on a streamer, but I'll probably end up renting it. But I've heard good things about that. So yeah, I should check that out at some point. I have not watched Happy Gilmore 2. When I found out that a lot of the movie is... it's one thing to be like, we're making references to the first Happy Gilmore. It's another that apparently they show scenes from the first Happy Gilmore to then do references in the second one, which is just like, look, I know that movie came out a long time ago, but that seems like you don't trust anyone, in which case, why are you making this movie? Like, if you're just like, well, here is a character from the first movie saying the same line they said in that movie, we'll show you the scene where they said it, and then we'll show them this time again. I'm like, that's not good. That sounds bad. I probably will watch clips of that movie, and then I'm sure that I will hear a podcast about bad movies that I listen to. We'll probably cover it at some point, and that'll probably be the extent of Happy Gilmore 2. But yeah, I don't need to see that movie. But I would like to see Naked Gun, the Naked Gun reboot. I would like to check that out at some point. So I bet that's going to be okay. People seem to like it, so I'll check that out. Like I said, I don't mind nostalgia pulls. I don't mind references, but if you're like, let's show the scene that we're referencing, like, that just makes me think you didn't have a full movie. If you're like padding it with scenes from the first movie, that just feels like that goes beyond pandering into like, oh shit, we don't have enough time, or we have too much time for our allotted. We'll just load it up. You want to see this scene with Ben Stiller from the first movie, right? And then you'll see the second part of it, the new material, which is just the same as the old material. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to see MJF play Adam Sandler's son that badly. All right. That is all I need to panel line here, so we can then clean this up. We'll get the eraser out. Check that out. But yeah, not a lot going on with me, since the last time we saw each other, which was Saturday. Sundays are often pretty low-key around here, unless there's a karaoke brunch that I'm going to. Those are busier Sundays. But most of the time, pretty laid back. Try to watch wrestling with some friends and talk and hang out. And I did that last night, and that was fun. It was nice. I caught up on some video stuff. Also watched Gigi Murin to go circle back to the beginning of the stream when I was talking about HoloLive VTubers. One of the most surreal, weirdest things I've ever seen. Gigi Murin is just a fucking weirdo. I love the HoloLive has a place for such a strange creature. She truly is just so fucking bizarre. And it rules that she has the ability to be weird and do weird shit. I'm just very happy for her that she has found her place of weirdness. And gets to just be a fucking weirdie. Good for her. It was weird. I don't know how to describe it. It started off like a parody of an isekai, and then it was a you have to save the world thing. She's in 3D because it was a 3D showcase, so it's a VTuber 3D model. But then also there was a Japanese actor playing a wizard named Wizard Oji-chan, and he was there doing his thing, which was weird. There was a children's choir, a real children's choir singing, and that was bizarre. And Gigi just kept talking about how bummed she was that they had to sing in English because they didn't know making them sing in English, and just there was a play out of a scenario in The Sims, like the video game The Sims. There was a weird. It was just. And I'm 100% completely and utterly convinced that Gigi had a grand vision, but also a lot of it was it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this is good or not. This part doesn't matter if it's great or whatever. She was we don't have to hire someone really talented to be the wizard. He just needs to be some guy. And she was yeah, I half assumed they were just going to get someone off of Fiverr or something. And I was like, what are you talking about? And their response was, what are you talking about? No, we're going to send you resumes of people that are in our budget. What are you talking about? Apparently there were business meetings within HoloLive where they were looking at the budget for her 3D showcase and trying to figure out how many children they could have in the children's choir, and figuring out the budget for that and finding funds for it, which is just an insane thing that grown-ass adults were doing in Japan the last few months. Meanwhile, her contemporary, who also had a 3D showcase, did a stage play that was it was one of those musicals that's or plays that's about getting ready for the play, the meta commentary of oh, I'm so nervous about the performance I have coming up, and then people show up and then they sing a song that happens. It's just so funny. It was just yep, this is exactly what Liz would want, and then this is exactly what Gigi would want. It was fucking insane, complete and utter nonsense, but really cool. A cool, weird thing. All right, I got one of these. I got this part done. So you'd think that doing it one way would mean that I could immediately do the other one. But you'd be wrong. Because I'm still struggling to figure out why I'm not doing that, why this isn't working out properly. There it is. Okay. There we go. This thing likes to mess with me. Every step in assembling this model kit feels like it's just weird parts that I'm not sure why they go together, and that's because it looks weird. It's a weird model kit. Doing the VDAR is a good reminder that sometimes kits just like don't make sense because they're going for something very strange. Like, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, this thing is going to look weird. And there's like arms that I haven't like considered how I have to build them. This is just going to be a weird build because this kit is weird. And I, you know, like my previous knowledge of how to build model kits is not going to be super helpful for this one. Just like the Unblood Orphans kits sometimes were troubling because those kits are like, instead of humanoids, they're demonic inspiration. So they move and their structure is a little different. They're hunched over, which you don't see on other humanoid Gundams. Okay, so I got these done. Now I need to put on these C15 and B1. And then there's stickers that have to go on this, but I'm not doing those stickers tonight. That's going to be the first step of Thursday, is doing these stickers, because we don't have really time for it. And also doing stickers at the end of a stream. I almost said shift there. I started to say at the end of a shift, which is accurate. It's not necessarily the right word, but it does work. It can work for what I'm doing here. But no, I want to get all this together here. Okay. Get this stuff together, and then I need B1. But yeah, doing at the end of a stream, doing stickers, doing tiny stickers at the end of a stream is bad for my brain and my hand-eye coordination. So instead, I'll start fresh on Thursday by applying these red line stickers. At the very least, I can get this piece on. Okay, so that goes on like that. And then that goes on this. Hell yeah. No, that's on wrong. Nope, I got this on wrong. Yeah, the stickers on this seem real fun. It's just there are a lot of them, and they're tiny. And they are color correcting because this kit has a lot of weird colors and weird choices built into it, which like makes sense and is fine. It's just, yeah, there's a ton of them, and there are these little line sticker things that are like marking stickers that are a little frustrating to put on as well. Come on. Why aren't you working right? This other one came on just fine and looks perfect. Why are you being weird? There it is. That's what I wanted to do. All right, these parts of the arms are done, other than needing stickers to go on them, but we made some good progress on this here. We have an alternate head. We did the chest. This was a weird assembly so far. It will continue to be a weird assembly as I continue to build it, which I will be doing on Thursday. But that's not my concern right now. What my concern is right now is getting ready to go raid, because that's how we're going to end this stream. That's how we end every stream. We always end with the raid. We started the stream by getting raided by Bad Gunpla, which rules. And we will continue to keep that energy going by raiding somebody else, go hang out with some other people. And I hope you'll come along with me on this raid. because I think it'll be fun. We're going to go hang out with Mary Kish. Has a lot of people watching. Oh, good for Mary. Mary is playing Heartworm, which I've not heard of. Looks like it might be... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Looks like maybe zombies are here. But we'll hang out with Mary. Mary rules. So I hope you will come along on this raid. Giant Bomb raided her. Okay, Giant Bomb was doing an evening stream and then raided her. That makes sense. That makes more sense. We'll also raid her then. We'll be part of the problem. So come along on this raid. Mary rules. You're going to have a great time hanging out with her. So please come along. She's just the best. And a reminder, please come back to my stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for Nubby's Number Factory. If you played the game, you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. If you haven't played the game, you should check it out. It's my favorite game of 2025. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you again. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Good.